Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to Chatting Category Romance. This is my first video solo on this channel. Steve has done a couple of videos already. Thank you, Steve. You rock at doing these. My life has kind of been a little all over the place over the last few weeks, so my apologies that I'm only just now getting a video out. So I'm going to film a couple and you're going to see them over the next few days. And yeah, I'm going to try and get, make sure I put out at least 2 or 3 of these a week. Because really, to be honest, these reviews are pretty easy to do. Not only are you just kind of talking about one book, but these are some of my favorite things to talk about is category romance. So for today's video, I am going to be talking about Her Man of Honor by Teri Wilson. This is the first book in the Love Unveiled series. It is a Harlequin special edition novel. The release date was April of 2023. So I read this one a couple of weeks ago, and you guys, this book was absolutely charming and delightful. The only words I can use for this book. I mean, if you are a fan of Teri Wilson's writing, or if you follow Teri Wilson on social media, Instagram especially, this book is a love letter to herself in a way, I want to say, because it's the epitome of Teri Wilson. It's like Harlequin said to her, write a book that encompasses you. And this is what we got, essentially. Not in terms of the storyline per se, but in terms of the characters and the fact it's all about weddings. It's just fantastic. So the plot of this story is about our main characters, Everly and Henry. And Everly, at the very beginning of the book, you meet her sitting in a bathroom in her very expensive wedding gown, eating crackers and cheese from a can because... Unfortunately, she's just been left at the altar. So her best friend, who's been her best friend since they were in college, Henry, comes up. He knows where to find her. She has a bit of a history there. She had something that happened to her when she was younger. I don't want to divulge too much of what it was, but her way of coping, in a way, her coping mechanism is sitting in a bathroom, and kind of letting the emotions kind of take over in a way. So Henry knew exactly where to find her. So he went up to the honeymoon suite, which is where she was, into the bathroom, and the two of them have a talk, and then he brought a bottle of champagne, and this is all at the very, very beginning of the book, so I'm not giving anything away. They drink way too much of the champagne and end up actually spending the night together. So that's the beginning of the story. So Everly works for a very well-known bridal magazine called Veil, which is where the title of the series comes from. The series itself is going to be a trilogy, and it's going to be Everly and her 2 best friends who also work for the magazine. So they're each going to get their own books, which I am super excited for. The cover of the second book has already been released, so I'm really excited about that. But anyway, so Everly works for this magazine, and she actually does an advice column. Well, because she's just been kind of left at the altar, and the things that happened, or what happened with Henry happened, she's not in a very good headspace, and she's giving pretty bad advice to brides-to-be and things like that. So her editor kind of takes her off of that, and she's like, you're going to start doing some other things. So, not really a spoiler alert, but then Everly finds out she's pregnant. Henry ends up coming back to New York. He travels for work. He is I think he's like a photojournalist for a magazine that does locations, like trips, and it's called Wanderlust or something like that. But he comes back to New York because he's actually going to be editing the June issue of Veil magazine, which is like the big issue. It's like the June wedding issues of these bridal magazines are always ridiculously big, and because that is wedding season, right? So anyway, he's coming back to do that. Runs back into Everly. She's kind of keeping the pregnancy a secret, and shenanigans happen. It involves a King Charles Cavalier dog, which Teri Wilson herself has one, and her dog's name is Charm, which is delightful. This book was just the cutest and sweetest. So it is a sweet romance, even though, the story starts out with the 2 of them spending the night together. Everything happens behind closed doors. So for anyone who prefers that type of a romance, this is definitely where you want to go. You will love this book. It was fantastic. And I absolutely cannot wait for the next 2 books in the series. Like I said, the cover's been revealed for book number 2. And book number 3, I believe, is going to be a Christmas book set in New York City. I mean, come on. This is going to be fantastic. So anyway, read this one. I loved it. yeah, if you have read this one yourself, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Yeah, and until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.